So we've just seen how to do the bivariate linear regression where we've regressed weight against height. But we've got some other variables in this data set. We've got some categorical variables of smoking and gender and the activity levels, and it's quite easy to add those to our regression model to see if they are significant. It could be that there is a different relationship between height and weight for males than for females, or between people who are moderately active to active a lot. So if we go back into the regression model here where I want to fit the model, see what I've done here is I've put activity and gender both as categorical predictors. But what it could also be, because those are two categorical predictors, it could be the case that I've got some interaction terms going on in there as well. So I'll just delete some of these and remind you how to put these interaction terms in. I just need to be highlighting activity and gender. So this is then telling me that it could be that any relationship between height and weight are different across activity levels and genders, as well as activity levels on their own and gender on their own. Getting quite complicated. I put those in as categorical predictors, and I can add them as add the interaction terms if I'm interested as well. And then I click OK. And I get a much more complicated regression model come out, regression output. So if I go straight down to the analysis of variance, what we can see here then is I've got the overall regression, the null hypothesis that it does not describe a significant amount of the variability. I reject that null hypothesis. And I can see that height is the significant term in the regression. Activity level is not significant. The null hypothesis that activity is not a significant term in the regression analysis, I fail to reject that null. The same as for gender, the same as for activity by gender interactions. Okay, so I've added those categorical terms, but they haven't brought anything to my regression analysis. If they were significant terms, those p-values would be less than 0.05. If we go up and look at these t-tests, that these are significant, that they are giving a b, a slope that's significantly different from zero. Again, I'm failing to reject that null hypothesis. They're giving a slope that's not significantly different from zero. The only term that has a slope that is significantly different from zero is the height term, which we had before. R squared crept up by a minuscule fraction, but we haven't added anything significant. There is no significant differences between the height-weight relationships for people who are moderately or slightly active, or active a lot, and male or female gender. So that's easily how to add categorical terms.